Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to some more Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. Now, in this episode, we do have the final two games of the season. Of course, we've already confirmed the championship as the sirens go past. Pretty routine video for us, isn't it, really? You've already confirmed the championship already, but we're going to finish things off in style with two away games against Man 62 and Glasses United. I say away, of course we know there's only one stadium in the country, so they're technically home games. The amount of away fans, now that we've had the stadium expansion has been completed since the last episode, so you'll see that as well. But it's quite funny now because we're actually taking more away fans than what some of the home teams are bringing as well, so it's pretty funny to see. I have, as soon as we finished the stadium expansion, I tried to ask us to build a new stadium. I was told that we didn't have the fan base, which was a little bit disappointing. So I have requested to expand the stadium once again, which was accepted. We're going to expand it by another, I think it was 500 seats. So that's pretty good. I'm thinking what we might do is over the next few years, if we can just max out the potential expansion on the stadium, which I think is 5,000, so it's only another one or two expansions after this one, and then we'll look to build our own stadium after that. And it means that everybody else in the country has this bigger stadium to play in front of, which would be pretty good for everyone else. So, let's get into our first match here, away at Man 62, and see that brand new stand. And here we are. As you can see, we are big favourites as normal. League-wise, like I said, we've already confirmed it. Glasses United are still pretty well up that table. I think they've only got one game left after this, so Glasses will have confirmed second place, which is fantastic for them. Looks like St. Joseph's are down, unless they have a nice big goal win in the next match, which would put them, if they can get higher goal difference than Britannia, they could go into the relegation playoff, but it would still be pretty difficult for them to stay up anyway. But yeah, I think we've had a pretty good season. Again, that draw against Britannia, that's the second time they've done that to us in 3 seasons. Very, very disappointing, but hopefully next year we can get the clean sweep. And I have got some cracking players coming in for next year. And because of the players we have got coming in next year, I've sort of adjusted the formation, because I think this is a formation we might end up playing quite a bit next year, or maybe drop in this back as a defensive midfielder here. We've got quite a few really good attacking midfielders that I've found, so I think the best way to fit them all in is they're going to be playing these 3 guys behind a central striker. I think that's going to be the best way anyway. If they get anyone interesting, they've got Patrick Matindo, a player we've had a couple of times. Jimenez Benitez started the game with us as well. It's still going. That's pretty nice to see. Anyone else on the bench? No one that I can really jumps out at me anyway. Coling, I think, is one of the goalkeepers for Gibraltar, who's been knocking around for quite some time. So our team, we have Musa Badji in goal. All 3 goalkeepers now are all getting an even little trial out in goals, just to see, well, just basically keep everyone happy at the same time. We might have to let one go in the summer though. Into left back we have Jared Murphy, trying to keep himself in our plans. If somebody comes in for Murphy in the summer, I think we might let him go. He's a good player, but he's already got 13 caps for Australia, so he's never going to play for Gibraltar, and I think we've got better players coming in the summer that can play left back. So if somebody does want him, we might have to let him go. Into centre back we have Obef Patiño, a player I'm not going to let go because he's just fantastic. Even though he's been capped 6 times for Colombia now, I don't want to let him go if I don't have to. One of our newer players as well, Stefan Kong-Unyoy. Yeah, I'm probably going to stop playing him in episodes, so I don't have to keep pronouncing the name. But there we go. I'll tell you what we could do. We could give him a nickname, but I don't know what nickname to give him. I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, I think he's a good player actually. I think his stats are going up. Of course, he's been a free transfer for a while, so he's been off doing absolutely nothing. And this is the first time you'll see him, of course, because I've only played him once before, and that was off camera. And he scored on his debut as well, which is good to see. And his stats are going up, and that's because he's been a free transfer for a while, and now he's working full time as well, which is pretty good. Into right back we have Mauricio Suesacun, a player we've had for a while now. He has actually been away on loan at Atlético Nacional for a whole season, so that's why we haven't seen much of him recently. I actually quite like him, but 24-year-old Colombian, I don't think he's ever going to progress too much now to what he actually is, and obviously he's so far away from playing for the national side as well. I think, again, if somebody comes in for him, we might have to let him go. Maybe we can put him on the transfer list in the summer, maybe. Into defensive midfield, we have Chris Morgan, one of our absolute beast players. We've had him for a good few years now. Getting close to 100 games for us, so probably end of next season he should get the 100 games. Of course, I think that's only league games that counts. Talking about players that have played over 100 games, here is Frank Evans in the centre of midfield. I'm trying to give a few of the Gibraltarian players more of an opportunity, just to make sure they keep their stats as high as they possibly can be, and that they stay in the national squad as well, because Frank Evans is the highest capped man in the international squad, and I'd love to see him get to 100 caps as well. And then the attacking 3, we have Adama Jeje, a player who I've played quite a bit this season actually. I actually really like him. This season he's really jumped onto the scene, and hopefully he can continue to progress. He's getting better and better every game, but he seems to be doing really well whenever we bring him on. He seems to not have the best stats in the world, but he plays fantastically well when he is on there. Alongside him we have Christian Baez, a player who we may very well lose in the summer, which would be a shame, but he's done very well for us anyway. And I do have a cracking player signed up for the summer. Our first £1 million plus signing, so that's going to be a big one. You'll have to wait and see. That's going to be in a couple of episodes' time. Alongside him, we have a player we brought on a free transfer in the last episode, but you didn't see him play. I've given him a couple of games now. His match sharpness is still not perfect, but he is a cracking player. Really good. Sergio Oyazun, the 20-year-old Chilean player. And then up front, we're sticking with Joe Stevens, who scored 7 goals in 10 league games for us so far this season. That's a difficult thing because I've been saving these guys for the Europa League and the Champions Cup most of the season, so they've not played a lot of league games, but I think it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We'll be fine. I think it's a clever way just to give everyone a bit of time on the pitches if we just play our best team for the European games and then rest them for the league games. But there we go. Let's see if we can finish off this season in style. With these 3 attacking midfielders and that striker, I can just feel a lot of goals coming in this game. Those three guys behind the striker are so creative, but they're all very capable of scoring the goals as well. Maybe this formation would work really well with a... Oh, there's a stand, by the way, in the background, you can see. It's not quite as big as I anticipated it to be, but it's a big upgrade, isn't it? And look, it's completely full as well, so it shows you just how many people were sat there wanting to come and see us, but they couldn't because the seats were sold out. So now that we've got an extra 1,000 seats in the stadium, which is fantastic, it means that we can get more people in. And especially when we have European games, it's really going to boost up the ticket revenue as well. And when I think we're put down to upgrade this stadium by another 500 seats. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be one of the 2 ends or whether it's going to end up being the other side underneath us. I'd like to get all 4 of the stands done. It'd be nice to get a bigger stadium, and obviously we're filling it out as well. Jimenez Benitez, good ball in, and they've scored. Bernard Levasseur. Wow, 3 minutes in and Man 62 have taken the lead. Jimenez Benitez, a player I actually really liked when we first started the game. But of course, once we went professional and we could bring in some of the younger talents from around the world, he sort of fell out of favour a little bit. And I thought the best thing for him, as well as a lot of the other players we let go, was to be released so they could join other clubs. And that's exactly what he's done here. And he's making a name for himself. Stevens loses the ball, but Ayazun picks it up. Frank Evans sees Stevens in space. And Stevens equalises it within a minute. We weren't down for too long, were we? Joe Stevens, his 19th goal of the season. Fantastic. Well, that's good. At least we weren't down for too long. And that's what I was saying before. Look, this is a Man 62 stand here. You see? And it's got loads of empty seats. We're away and we've got this big stand here and we've completely filled it. So we're actually getting more tickets. We're actually bringing more away fans than they are home fans in some games. Because I think we've got this end stand as well on the right hand side. So of course we do only have, I think we've got 4 Gibraltarian players now. We've got Frank Evans, we've got Ashley Riley, who's a right back and a left back. We've got Baxter, who's a left back, and we have what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. He's an attacking midfielder striker. So I think I'll keep all 4 and I'll try to give him a bit more football next season as well, just to keep them all happy, and again just to keep progressing them and keep some decent players available because they've not been playing. Gibraltar's been dropping them, and these are the 4 best players in Gibraltar, so to drop them is a little bit dodgy really. Of course, I'm gutted because we had this discussion about Nick Harleton the last couple of episodes, didn't we, where he is down to become a Gibraltarian national. However, he's already Gibraltarian national, but he's down to become a player for the national side, but he's decided to join another club. He's decided to join Barrow in the summer. And I think I've worked it out that by the time he goes to Barrow, he's going to be 15 days short of that nationality, which is gutting. So I'm hoping, I don't know, although he's going to be at a contract there, I don't know how the game works. I don't know whether, I just don't know how it works. I really don't. I'd love to for him to stay around and get that nationality. Jim Morrison will be getting nationality though, so that'll be one player who will be playing for the national side, which is fantastic to see because he'll be a massive upgrade for the national side. Plus, he's only 23 years old, Jim Morrison, so he's going to have a very good career for the national side. He got a good 10, 12 years out of him. And yeah, like I say, he's going to be a big upgrade for them. Plus, he's playing full-time football, which not a lot of the players in the national side. Baez, take a bow. Makes it 2-1 just before the half an hour mark with that cracking shot from just outside the area. I think things might change quite a bit in the summer. We're obviously going to be losing Sergio Tundi to Stoke for £6 million, which it's disappointing, but at the same time, £6 million quid, isn't it? Baez, I think, is a player that will probably be going. Not that I want to, but he wants to leave. Luis Cabrera, the Uruguayan central midfielder we've had for a season, also wants to leave. Again, I wouldn't be happy, but at the same time, we'll get some money out of it, won't we? I think there's a few others as well. I'm hoping that they don't all go. But like I've said, I've already got a few really good players lined up to bring in. And I think we're going to do okay. I have recently, over the last couple of weeks, brought in about 10 16-year-old players to help boost up our under-18s team. And I will go through them. I'll probably go through them in the beginning of the next season, just so you can see all the new players as well as them. Because obviously we've got quite a few signings already lined up that I've been putting together. Once I knew we were losing Sergio Tundi, I've been on the search for players, and I'm always checking the transfer list because it's so amazing on this game how often the transfer list changes. You can have a player on there one day and he'll be taken off the transfer list the next, so you've got to jump on these players as soon as they become available. So that's one thing I need to keep an eye on, and I found a couple of really good players, and I'm also trying to bring back a player that we had a long time ago on loan. I think his name was Otero. We got him on loan the first season we became professional, and Stevens with a goal. Yeah, we got him on loan the first year we were professional, and he was a really good player, but he had to go back, and I've noticed he's still at Getafe, and he's still in the B team, and he's 22 years old now, and he's got really good crossing ability, really good dribbling, and I'm thinking to myself, he plays left attacking mid and right attacking mid. He'll be a fantastic attribute to our team. He can really fill in the gaps whenever needed. So I think he's... I've not managed to get hold of him yet. I'm still trying to make offers to Getafe, but they're not accepted anything as of yet. But like I said, I have got one player. How can you be confused by well done? You've scored. Well, you've made 2 assists and you're actually the best player on the pitch. I don't understand why you're annoyed by that. So yeah, I have not. It's not official yet, but he has agreed a contract, and I was surprised because he's not even on the transfer list. I just made an offer for this player. He's a striker. He's worth 1.2 million, and he's actually playing. He's played 7 games in the Liga BBVA this season, so he's actually played in the Spanish top division. And I went in there and just bid his value, which is 1.2 million, and they accepted it. I could not believe my luck. And he come back, and he only wants like 8 grand wages, which is obviously well within our budget. So I'm very happy about that, and I think it's not been confirmed as of yet, like I said, but he has accepted the contract, 3-year deal. They've accepted the value of 1.2 million. I think it's Real Sociedad. So that could be a massive signing for us. He's a very good player as well, very good stats. And he's going to give us a lot more power up front, I think. There's the corner. Frank Evans headed it. It was just over the bar. So on the 65th minute now, I think we might make a couple of substitutions just to spice things up a little bit. I think what I might do... See, I don't know about taking some of these attacking players off. I was going to change the formation, actually. Let's let them have their highlight. Oh, we've got it now. Baez... I'm going to change the formation. I'm going to go back to 2 wide attacking players. But I don't really want to take many of the attackers off. I think I've got a way in my mind. It just makes us much more attacking, which isn't a problem. We're winning 3-1, aren't we? Winning 4-1, aren't we? Joe Stevens with a goal, set up by Baez, a player who we're probably going to lose in the summer, but he's done well for us. We've had him for about a season and a half, Baez now, and he's been a very good player for us. He's helped us out in the Europa League. And obviously in the Champions League qualifiers as well. So he's been a great asset for us, and if leaving to join a bigger club is what he wants, then it's fair enough. We're going to get some money for him. He's helped us move further up the rankings in the world, so I'm happy enough to let him go. Be interesting to see what our coefficient's going to be this year as well. I know last year we were put up back into the second Champions League qualifying stage. We don't have to do the first anymore. And it'd be interesting to see if we can get that even higher at some point. Or maybe get a second club from Gibraltar into the Champions League. That'd be pretty good. I've not done my substitutes yet, but let's do it now. I can do it now, can't I? So I think, so we're just going to go more attacking, aren't we? Let's just put Bayers up front. Let's put JJ out wide. And Frank Evans, I'm afraid you're going to have to come off. So Finn Baird is going to go attacking left. And Lee Jong-jo is going to go attacking right. Of course, if you're not sure who Lee Jong-jo is, we brought him a couple of episodes back on a free transfer. I was panicking because I thought Atundi had gone, and I realised that they signed him after the end of the transfer window, so it wasn't a major problem. But I brought in this South Korean right attacking midfielder just to bolster up the numbers. And Stevens scores again. I believe that's his hat-trick. Is that his hat-trick? It doesn't say. I think it is. That's either his hat-trick or his fourth. JJ and then Bayers again with the assist. Look at that. Be such a shame to lose him in the summer, but like I said, we've got, I think I've already signed 2 attacking central midfielders to come in anyway, and we've already got a lot of strikers, so I'm not overly disappointed with losing Bayers. It'd be lovely to keep him, don't get me wrong, but if he wants to leave, we've got the players to replace him. So now Oyarzun is playing that attacking central midfield role on his own now. We've got 2 strikers, Bayers and Stevens, and now we have the 2 wide attacking players as well. Here's the Lee Jong-ju with a cross, and it's hit the outside of the post there. We seem to struggle keeping right backs and left backs. They're the players that everyone seems to take off of us, doesn't they, really? Both Sisseken and Murphy are going to struggle next season, I think, though. Just like Bayers is struggling right now. So let's bring on Eric Franks. Franks is a player who is wanted by Los Angeles. They've made a couple of offers for him, but they only want to offer like 20 grand. I've told them I want at least £1 million for him. Because he's a player who, again, still hasn't played for America yet, so there's potential. You can see the difference in that stand now, can't you, from this angle? And I'm so happy to get that stand finally finished. And at the end of the season, I'm sure that we're going to start building up the next stand. I've got a feeling it's going to be one of the ends, though, rather than one of the bigger bits. But still, that's still going to be a pretty decent upgrade for us. Baird plays it into Oyarzun. He's got the ball taken off him, but Baird picks it back up. There's the cross across the goal. Franks is going to be there. No, it's a scramble, and it's gone. It's been cleared. Oh, that was a bit mad, that was. So yeah, Joe Stevens scored 4 goals today. I wonder why they didn't say it's his hat-trick, because he's already scored 3. I'll tell you what, if we can keep a hold of Stevens for another few years, I don't know how possible that's going to be. He could potentially play for Gibraltar. That'd be a real big one for them. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. He keeps hitting them really deep crosses, Joe. And there we go, 5-1 win, technically away from home, technically at home. We've got that many fans, it's difficult to really tell sometimes, isn't it? So yeah, Joe Stevens gets the man of the match with them 4 goals. Fantastic. Wow. I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's going to, again, make us even stronger at the top of the table now. We are, let's see how good my maths are, we are 24 points, no, 23 points at the top of the table. Are we? No. No, we're not, are we? We are 27 points at the top of the table, sorry. So yeah, we're quite easily won the league, haven't we? And we still have Glasses left, so by the end of the season we could win it by 30 points if we beat Glasses, which I'm pretty sure we will do. Let's get straight into that game now. And here we go. This is what I was saying earlier on about us dominating the stands even when we're away. 3,000 tickets are expected to be sold for the Gibraltarian First Division clash on Sunday. So 3,000 tickets. Europa Point will enjoy a large travelling support with 2,000 away fans expected. So 2,000 away fans expected, and there's 3,000 tickets sold, which means that even though we're away, we are going to be doubling the amount of fans to what Glasses have at home. So that just shows, doesn't it? And I suppose that's not a bad thing for us. I'm sure we can get even higher than that, because exactly 2,000 fans makes it sound like that we have had an allocation. So I wonder if we get the stands increased even more, where we get an even bigger allocation. It'd be pretty good to see next season if we can start filling these stands in home games as well. That'd be pretty good. But anyway, enough of me blabbing on. Let's get into that game against Glasses. And here we go with our final league game of the season. We win this one, we will win the league by 30 points, which is 10 clear games, which is fantastic, really. I'm happy with that. Yeah, not much else to tell you, really. I think we're all done. I think Glasses have definitely finished second no matter what, which gets them into the Europa Cup qualifiers, which is good for them. It'd be nice to see either Glasses or Lincoln Redhams actually get through that first or second round for a change, because they both really struggle. They really do. But there you go. Change at the formation once again. I'm just playing around with things and trying to make sure everyone's happy. And I don't quite like this formation as well. I'm just tempted maybe to make it a diamond and have an attacking midfielder up here. But at the moment I've gone a bit more reserved. We've got Ramito in goal, of course, as always. Then we've got 3 centre-backs. The first one is Jared Madison, American centre-back. We've had him for a couple of years now. He's a pretty decent player, actually. Alongside him, right in the middle, of course, we have Obef Patino, a player who's getting better and better, actually. He's tackling, marking and heading now all at 10, which is good. His long shots are getting better as well, which is always handy. Always want good long shots from a centre-back, don't you? Simplice McKindy alongside them. Look at him. He's just getting better and better. For 20 years old, I think we're going to struggle to keep a hold of this lad for too long, you know. But if we can keep a hold of him, and we can keep him out of the Belgium squad, you never know. You never know, he could be Gibraltar's best ever player, this one. And then into defensive midfield, we're going to be playing Chris Morgan in that role. Just dominates that position, doesn't he, really? On the left-hand side, it's not a great position for him, but Finn Baird's going to play. He prefers to be more attacking, and I might move him up to a more attacking role a bit later into the game, maybe, but I'm a real stickler for being symmetrical. Finn Baird has not played for Australia yet, which is a bit of a surprise. And he's only got 2 years left before he can play for Gibraltar. Now, that'd be incredible if Gibraltar got hold of him. Into the centre, we have Khaled Masadi, and the Algerian, who's now got a couple of caps for Algeria as well. So he's starting to get better and better, and his stats are going up as well. He's really progressed well over the last season. So 19-year-old Algerian, definitely someone to keep an eye out for the next few seasons. Frank Evans is going to keep his space, but in this time he's going to be playing attacking right midfield. Now, if you've been watching this series a long time, you'll know this is a position I like to play him in quite a lot before we became professional. His crossing is only 4, yet for some reason he's incredible at crossing. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm happy to give Frank a bit more first team football. And then we have 3 strikers up front. We have Eric Franks, of course, the American, who is wanted by Los Angeles, and he's never got a youth cap, Eric Franks, but he has been called up by the US into the squad a couple of times, but he still hasn't played for them, so that's an interesting one. He is still he's got about 2.5 years before he can play for the national side. And then we've got Frank Banning as that central striker. He's played a few games for us this year, Frank, but we just need to say if we lose a few players in the summer, people like Frank Banning could get a lot more first-team football. He probably does deserve it. He's a very good player, really good work rate, 15 finishing, good free kick taking and heading as well. He's a decent striker. Alongside them, we have Andre, a striker we brought in this. We brought him in. When did we bring Andre in? Was it in January? I can't remember. We got him in a free transfer. He'd been released at the. I think we brought him in January when he'd been released. Obviously, 5 goals from 5 games, 3 assists, 3 player of the matches. He's really been a fantastic player since we brought him in as well. So they've got Jack Peachman up front, who came through our academy, I believe. Yes, he did. He played 59 games for us and scored 17 goals in those 59 games. So he's done pretty well at Glasses. Yeah. It's good to see these players actually leave us and still stay in the country and do really well, because there's a few players that did leave, and Liam Joyce left us as well, one of the players for our academy. He only played 19 games, but he's got the Holy Trinity all up in 10, so he should be getting more caps for Gibraltar in my opinion, but there you go. And Nicolas Diaz, a player who we actually released last summer, the Uruguayan central defensive midfielder. So great to see him stay in the country. It really is good to see that if we do let players go, they stay based in the country, and then they can still build up their days for playing for the national side, which is fantastic to see as well. So Nicolas Diaz, I'm glad he's stuck around. He's not had the best of seasons. He's played 23 games, but only had an average rate of 6.94. But then again, he must have done quite well because they're second in the table. So yeah, let's see if we can sign things off in style. Fans are expecting a good performance. Let's go out there and give it to them. The 2,000 away fans out of the 3,000 people in the stadium. That's a bit crazy, isn't it, really? So they've had 100% possession so far. That's not very good, is it? We're only a minute into the game, like. There you go. Come on. What do you got, boys? What do you got? We've had a shot. That's good. We can score like 10 goals in this time sometimes, and sometimes we don't do anything. So we're up to 11 minutes, so not a single highlight yet. We've had 8 shots free on target in the first 14 minutes. There we go. Now we have, well, it's going to be one of their highlights, but chances are we're probably going to get the ball back. Saunders across to Johnson. Plays out to Hodgson. Plays it forward to Carter. Or maybe we're not going to get it back. Maybe it is going to be a Glasses attack and be a massive haul for Glasses if they can beat us here. Especially with a couple of our old players as well. Peachman and Joyce. There we go. Madison gets it back though. Plays it forward. Maybe playing 3 centre-backs against the team that are second in the division. Probably not the best idea. But there you go. Saunders plays it across to Miller, who plays the ball forward over the top to Peachman. And Peachman gets a shot. It's a good save by Ramito. And look at that tackle by McKendy. That's 18 tackling there for you. Comes sliding in the right time and clears the ball. We have a corner to be taken by Finbaird. Incoming. Banning. Oh, it's off the line. Batinho's there. It comes for loose and it's to Madison. Madison finds the cross back in, but Joyce gets it and Joyce clears it. So well done to Joyce there. He's really pulled it off. I'm actually half tempted to sign Joyce back. Only because we're struggling for homegrown players in our Champions League squad. And he's got 10 in the free stats for defenders that you need in the technical ability. So I don't know about that. I know quite a few of our players are gaining the nationality now, so quite a few of our players are becoming homegrown, which is fantastic. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure we can do something. So still, we're 38 minutes into the game. We've got 3 strikers on the pitch, and we still haven't scored a goal yet. 19 shots for those 3 strikers. We should have scored goals. We should be like 8 up by now. Also, Peachman's got a slight injury as well. That'd be a shame. But it is the last game of the season. Doesn't matter too much for him, I suppose. So half time at 0-0. I'm not happy with that. So let's tell them calmly that I'm not happy with your performance. And that seems to have fired them up. Hopefully that's going to fire them up enough. I know one of the main problems might be the fact that we picked quite a few players here. That's the problem. We've got so many players in our squad now. I'm having trouble keeping track of them. So God knows how you guys are struggling. But we've got that many players in our squad now that it's even difficult to get a game for the under-21s and the under-18s. So a lot of these players aren't getting a lot of first-team football or a lot of even football in general. So that's why I think they're struggling for match fitness a lot. Come on, Banning. If we can score a goal now, I won't take any of you off. Patino and Madison, a little 1-2 there, and it is Madison who gets the goal. And with 3 strikers on the pitch, all very, very good strikers, it ends up being a 1-2 with our defenders that gets us the goal. So Patino gets the assist, Madison gets the goal. It was a crazy one, that, because Madison headed it on, we see here. So in comes the corner, Madison heads it on, Patino then heads it back to Madison, who just pokes it into the back of the net. The keeper's in no man's land, really struggling to keep track of the ball. There we are, 1-0 up, and it takes a centre-back to get that goal. Bit crazy, really. I think we are going to make a substitution anyway. I think Bustamante is going to come on, probably in place of Frank Banning, because Banning's only playing a 6.6, which is probably the worst. Oh, he's just got himself up to a 6.7. But fitness-wise, he's the lowest as well. So let's bring on him. And Ataganya? Ataganya is going to come on for Finn Baird, because Finn's not in his preferred position anyway. So it means that we get a chance to give Ataganya an opportunity on the pitch as well. Get some fresh legs on for the last half an hour. Of course, we want to protect Finn Baird for the 2 cup finals in the next episode as well. Of course, we do have the Rock. I almost said a bad word there. The Rock Cup final and the Senior League Cup final are both going to be in the next episode. So be sure to come back for that one, because that's going to be good. We've won the cups, both cups now, about 7 or 8 years in a row. And I don't see that changing for some time until some of these other teams become professional, which I don't know how far that is away. I'm hoping not too far. It'd be nice to have a little bit more competition in this league. And it'd be nice to see some of the other clubs in Gibraltar doing a bit better in Europe as well. Because, of course, like I said at the beginning of this playthrough, in episode number 1, which was a long time ago, this is not just about us dominating and us trying to get to a point where we can do well in the Champions League. This is about trying to improve Gibraltar as a footballing nation as well. That's why I'm always talking about having players sign up for the national side and things like that, because I think that is a really big part of it. Because if we can't get good players through the youth ranks in Gibraltar, then for us to bring players in from the likes of England, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, all them sort of... Oh, Andre, that was a cheeky try. That was very, very cheeky. So yeah, by bringing players in, they've got to be in the country for 5 years after the age of 18, and that's a good thing. I like the fact that we can do that, and it helps Gibraltar as a nation. I think they're still 177th in the world ranking, so they're still quite low down. But with the addition of a couple of players, I think over the next couple of years, that's when they were going to really... Oh, wow. Andre, you tried it a minute ago. Now, that was a goal, that was. Right in the top corner. Absolute stonker. Yeah, I think over the next 2 or 3 years now, we're really going to be able to have a big influx of players coming into the national side. The only reason that it's only taken so long now is because I think it's about 5 years ago we became professional. So in that 5 years, all the players we brought in season number 1 are now becoming eligible. Next year, the players we brought in season 2 will become eligible. That's, of course, if we still have them. There might be more. The only 2 that I'm aware of at the moment that are really close are Jim Morrison and Nick Harlton, the 2 centre-backs. But as I've said before, unfortunately, Jim Morrison should be absolutely fine. He's signed a new contract with us. But Nick Harlton looks like he's going to be leaving Gibraltar 15 days short of being able to play for the national side, which is really annoying. I'm half tempted to try and get him back on loan just for a month. I might have to pay a chunk of money to do so, but it'll be a big help for the national side if I can do that. I can't... It's just crazy. I just can't believe that's the way it's worked. We must have signed him like 2, 3, 4, 5 days after the transfer window opened, and because he's going on a free transfer, he refused our deal and went to Barrow. It looks like he's going to be leaving dead on transfer deadline day, so that's really annoying. But there we go. Masadi gets the man of the match. I was saying about him how good he was at the beginning of the match one. I was saying that he's really come on the last season or so, so that's really good to see him getting a 9.0. Apart from that, nobody else really shone, did there? It was an 8.5 for Andre, of course, after that amazing goal. Yeah, that's what you'd expect, really. So there we go. We have won the league by 30 clear points, which is fantastic. Again, we've got a season where we've won 26 games and we've drawn 1, which is annoying. That's the second season in a row that's happened now, and hopefully next year we can get the clean sweep that I'm thriving for. So, let's skip forward and have a look at the schedule for the next episode. We are going to be playing against Lincoln Red Imps in the Senior League Cup final, and then either Lynx FC or College 1975 in the Rock Cup final. So really it's a formality, isn't it? So yeah, that's going to be next episode in a couple of days' time. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Of course, if you have, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.